Latifah. I'm a dog lover, and I've got a small presentation about different breeds of dogs and even how to adopt dogs. We're going to use this presentation to step through this particular course, and we're going to start with switching views so we can make quick edits in our presentation.
I'm a dog lover as well. Let's get started.
PowerPoint gives us the ability to be able to edit our presentation in different views, so we can maybe look at our presentation from a different vantage point. To get to our different view options, I'm going to click on View on my ribbon at the top. Now by default, if you look over here on the left-hand side, notice that the normal view is selected. When we open a presentation, that's where PowerPoint is going to take us. If I want to look at my text or the content that's added into my presentation, I have an outline view.
Now, Kat, how come I don't see the pictures?
Because this view allows us to be able to just see the text, and that's my main focus.
Okay.
Another view that we can use is a slide sorter view. And if I go to my slide sorter view, this only shows me the thumbnail of each slide.
Now, Kat, what is the advantage of it? Because honestly, I can't even read it.
Now there's some zoom tools that we can use to actually zoom into the slides. If I come down here at the bottom right-hand corner, I see this 100%. If I click that little plus sign, it's going to zoom in, so it'll make the slides bigger. I can also use a keyboard shortcut. If I hold my control button down and use the wheel on my mouse and pull it closer to me, it zooms out, and it'll zoom in if I scroll up.
That looks much better.
Now, one of the advantages to using the slide sorter view is that you can rearrange your slides. If I change my mind and I want my breeds of my dogs to come before I'm talking about my dog Aspen, all I have to do is click and drag it, and I've reordered my slides.
Okay.
Now I'm going to click and drag to move my breeds after Aspen.
Kat, when I'm delivering my presentation, I enjoy using note cards to add to my notes. Where can I place my notes in PowerPoint?
There is a view just for that. On my ribbon at the top, the next button says Notes Page. If I click that, this opens up a place for me to add notes for that specific slide. So if I wanted to add notes to this particular slide, all I'd have to do is click on this text box at the bottom, and I could add my notes. I could even copy and paste it, let's say from Word, or maybe even from a website if I have the documentation someplace else. PowerPoint also gives me the ability to be able to format my notes. So if I wanted to make my font sizes bigger, all I have to do is select it, and I get my formatting toolbar so I can change my font.
That's good. I wondered how to format the text.
One other view that we have available is our reading view. And our reading view gives us the ability to be able to go through our presentation as if our audience is going to see it. I can use my space bar to navigate to the next slide. I can use my up arrow to go to the previous slide. I can even use my mouse to be able to navigate from one slide to the next. I'm still in PowerPoint because I can see my title bar appear at the very, very top. To get back into edit mode, I'm going to use Escape on my keyboard.
This will give me a chance to be able to view and practice.
Yes, and you want to practice quite a bit. Another way to hop back and forth between your views is by using your status bar down at the very, very bottom. If I look at the bottom right-hand side, my first button allows me to hop back to normal view. The second allows me to get to my slide sorter view. The third, this is my reading view. And then the fourth, this allows me to start the presentation as if my audience is going to see it from the slide that I have selected. So right now I'm looking at my breeds of dogs. If I click the slideshow button, this is where the presentation is going to start. Just like when I'm looking at my reading view, to get back into PowerPoint so I can edit, I'm going to use my Escape button on my keyboard at the top.
I love that I can navigate easily between the views.
Yes. Now, normal view gives you lots of muscles. So let's hop over to normal view and let me show you some advantages that we have with that particular view. I'm going to use my ribbon at the top and I'm going to click on normal view. Now, we talked about our slide sorter view, so we can rearrange the slides. If you look at this little bar to the right of my thumbnails, I can actually resize that. So if I want to make my thumbnails bigger and that makes my slides smaller, I can resize to be able to see those. I can even do the click and drag to reorder right here inside a normal view. I'm going to take my dog Aspen and I'm going to move him underneath my breeds just by clicking and dragging.
So simple.
If you want to add notes to your slides, in normal view, notice down here at the bottom I have a place that says click to add notes. Now if you don't see that, on my status bar I have this little button that says notes. If I click it, notice my click to add notes disappears. I click it again, now I can add my notes. But it's really tiny. If I want to make that space a little bit bigger, I can always use that little border at the top to click and drag to resize that area to add more notes. And I can format just like before.
I love that I can edit everything in one view.
Yes, the normal view is very powerful, but don't forget your slide sorter view allows you to be able to look at all the thumbnails so you can rearrange them quickly and easily, and your notes view allows you to be able to focus on your notes as you're adding them to each individual slide.